The Blades Ramble is proudly sponsored by My Business Group, a group of brands designed to support owners, leaders and managers in business. Contact mybusinessgroup.co.uk for more information or follow the link in the description below.
Blades fans, subscribe to Blades Ramble. Up the Blades.
What is happening, Blades, and welcome back to the Blades Ramble. I am, of course, Jimmy, and this is 10-minute transfers. And today it's going to be slightly different, and we try and keep things fresh here. It's not just going to be another player that we talk about that might be linked, might not be linked. There is a little bit of that, and I'll talk to you about the reason. We're talking about Ali Mccann today. And yesterday, in 10-minute transfers, we were talking about a huge character, a charismatic figure at Sheffield United, Vinny Souza, leaving the club for a big fee to play abroad and play in European football and hopefully get himself into the Brazilian national side. So that is a main actor, as Chris Wilder called him, leaving the football club. And then murmurs of a potential replacement. We're always going to struggle anyway, even if there were I think only if you get like a cult hero's a bit strong, but if you get a cult figure in like Tommy Doyle, that might satisfy some Blades. But when you pull out a championship midfielder that doesn't often get recognition at the level, isn't really that widely known outside of his own club, I would probably venture a guess at. I'm going to be telling you a little bit about Ali Mccann this morning, and some may not be impressed. Why are we even entertaining this when we're leaving Vinny Souza? It's a huge downgrade. Well, there's going to be an element of downgrading. Whatever happens, when you fail to get relegated from the Premier League and then the following season you fail to get promoted, there has to be a realisation that we have to balance the books. And in terms of doing that, the quality of player might go down. I'm not expecting, if Ali Mccann comes in, and it's quite a distant link at the minute in terms of we haven't really nailed it down to anybody that we could hang our hat on. I'm not expecting him to be the new coming of Vinny Souza. I think he's in a similar mould to that type of player, different build, loads of different things, but he's a ball winner in centre midfield. We'll come on to that. Let's first look at the links as to where it's come from. But we have to get used to this sort of link, I'm afraid. Sheffield United have inquired about Preston's Ali Mccann, says Talk PNE. They have got around 2,500 followers on X. They are a club-linked account, if you like. There's no direct affiliation to Preston from what I can see, but their account is based on linking or getting news about the club out to the fans. Not too dissimilar from what we do when we're on X. We might tweet about certain rumours and things like that. So it's in their interest to get it right and remain credible. That's the first thing. It's originated on a forum, I believe, which again is always questionable. So there's but apparently this kid's the Fabrizio Romano of Preston in terms of getting links right. Time will tell whether there's any legs to this link. Scott's done a little bit of rover reporting for the Sheffield United community by asking all Preston fans, Scott, who's a regular contributor to the channel, any thoughts on Ali Mccann from the Preston community? PNE Chatter has come back and said, brilliant player, box to box, attacking output not the greatest, but that's not his role. He'll break up, play across the entire pitch for you, never stops running, and he's a baller. That's kid speak or younger person speak for really good player. Hope he doesn't go to you lot, but if you offer 5 million, then I'd take it to reinvest under our new model. Scott says, sound like a Sayers type of midfielder. 5 million would be a good deal as we're losing Souza to Wolfsburg for 13. Don't know if it's a solid link, just forum rumours, I believe. And PNE Chat says, the messiah of the Preston forum said you were very interested. It'd be fantastic for you, that nitty-gritty to replace Souza. I think you'd be silly not to give it a go. You get an instant replacement that knows the league well, represents his nation, and will slot right in. So really positive feedback from one Preston source. And then you look online for a little bit more, and there continues to be positive feedback about Ali Mccann. We've done a little bit of our own research. Again, not a fan of stats, as you know, but we have to start somewhere, don't we? And we have to look at what we can to find out what we can about Ali Mccann. So his SOFA score rating across the season is 6.89. Not the best numbers, but again, we've been deceived by figure. I think that's higher than Sidi Peck's rating across the season. So that should tell you all you need to know about these sort of ratings. He's best performed in the FA Cup, it says here, according to this, but his overall, what does it say on our screen? It tells us on screen that he's played 34 times for Preston. In the Championship, he's played 29 times, started 28 games, 84 minutes per game. Where he really excels is his defensive stats. Per game, he's making 3.5 tackles per game, but balls recovered per game, 4 balls recovered per game. That is decent. That is decent. He's dribbled past 1.5 times per game, which again isn't terrible in terms of these types of figures. Makes at least 1 interception per game. He clears the ball 1.5 times on average per game. His attacking stats leave a lot to be desired, in all fairness, but he's designed to be that sitting 6, like we talk about. So, if we are linked to Ali Mccann, I don't think it is a terrible signing at all. It depends on the price. He's 25-year-old, represents his country, as we know. Not a bad player at Championship level. That doesn't mean he's going to come in and be the man that we rely on. It doesn't mean he's going to be one of the better players in the 11. If, in fact, he breaks into the first team, I think it's a good option for us in terms of getting a similar mould of player to Vinny Souza in terms of somebody who can recover the ball. The thing I wanted to come on to, putting Ali Mccann to one side for a minute, because obviously this is going to be a little bit like, there might be a few more of these, is what I should say, in terms of players that don't jump off the pages. And this is by no means meant to be disrespectful to Mccann or any players that we might get linked with. We are going to have to get used to this. We are going to have to get used to being linked with players that aren't showstoppers, and we should be on board with whatever we do until we're proven wrong, until we're proven otherwise. I will be completely honest, and because I am a fan, just a fan, that is all. It's just I'm the one putting content out to you to consider. I've got a bit of a scouting background. I have got a bit of a relationship with the club from time to time. But other than that, I'm just here to give my opinion. It looks now like we've lost out on Kessler Hayden, going to Coventry. Looks like we might be losing out on Louis Barry. Tommy Doyle might be going to Birmingham. We don't know all these yet, but at the time of recording, these are all deals that could be done to other clubs. David Brooks looks like he's going to West Brom, and I am struggling, in all honesty. And I've always told you I'll always come on and be honest with you. I'm struggling. I've got an internal battle going on because there's 40 days to go until the first kickoff. Until we kick off against Bristol City, and that gives me hope that we'll start to get deals done. And things will happen and we'll be completely... And I know we will. The logical side of my brain, whichever is left or right, tells me we will be absolutely fine. But there is an underlying part of me, the fan in me, that wants us to start moving. It was the 4th of July before we made our first signing last season. And obviously it turned out to be... There was an influx of players. It changed the whole side. We all know what kind of a rebuild it was. So in terms of timescales, I'm not overly concerned. In terms of the players that we're missing out on and don't even appear to be in with a sniff about, if it was 1, then 2, then 3, and at that point I was like, okay, trust the process. Just, let it play out, is what we were saying. Well, now I'm starting to get a little bit, that's another one gone, that's another one gone, and that's another one gone. So I'm only coming on and being completely honest with you about how I feel about how it is going. I am starting to get twitchy. I'm never here to spin a narrative. I'm always here to give you the alternative side of things, and particularly to calm down those that are getting a little bit uncomfortable or impatient. And as much as the logical side of my brain says there is plenty of time, because undoubtedly there's plenty of time left to get a good squad in that keeps us at the top end of the Championship, keeps us challenging. It is morale sapping for me as we see players like Kessler Hayden who would resolve our right-back issues. Jimmy Dunn's already gone before that, and I understood it. But, again, it would have been a solid addition to our back line. Now it's Tommy Doyle, then it's Louis Barry. There's players that are on our desirable list, certainly as a fan base, that are getting ticked off all the time. And it started... Look, we haven't made one signing yet. And there's been loose links to players like Ali Mccann, and I understand it, and that's fine. But we need to start making some moves, or making some noises at least. Even if it's to chuck random names out there that Sheffield United might be interested in, this man, just to keep the fans on side in terms of Sheffield United are at least starting to get busy. Even if it's a couple of red herrings, we're never going to know. I just think sometimes there has to be some thought for the fan base. There's been no direct communication from the board or the ownership in terms of a face-to-face or anything like that. I don't want us to lose a grasp of the togetherness that we've got as a club. We will always fight the club's corner as a channel, and I will continue to do that because we are fans of Sheffield United at the end of the day. And despite sacking our most successful manager ever, we have come on and we have said we trust the club, and we do. We will continue to support the club through thick and thin, and we will continue to put that counter argument forward to anybody that's got any negative comments about it. But I will always be honest with the audience, the subscribers, and anybody that comes. And I am starting to get twitchy. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is an honest space, a non-judgmental space. I'm not saying it as a dig at anybody at the club or anything like that. I am just coming on and being honest about how I feel. I'm happy to take the counter arguments from any Blades or any fan of any club, because we've got a wide array of people that watch us now, and we're very grateful for that. But yeah, I'm just, it's an honest approach, and I'm confident. Like I said, the logical side of my brain says we'll be absolutely fine come kick off against Bristol City, and I'm sure we will be. But I think we need to get moving, is my honest thoughts on it. So I'm going to leave it there because I'm well over, but I needed to say it. And I'm just being open and honest. Completely trust the club. Always will back the club. It's just that sort of, can we get going? Can we be in for a Kessler Hayden at least, even if he's not our number one target and we miss out to Coventry? At least make moves like we're trying to get players in, so the fans know that we are not just sitting on our hands, which we're not, and I know we're not, because I know a little bit about what goes on in. We never stop. We are always moving as a football club, but fans need to know that. Fans need to know that we are still busy, and it just puts some nerves to rest. That's all. So, always a Blade. Come on, you red and white wizards. Up the Blades! Shots